Good evening. I'd like to propose a toast to Fidel Castro's death. Fucking little chode monster. That's tasty. You know who won't be sharing this delicious scotch with me on this momentous occasion? The mainstream media, bitches. Fidel Castro has died. Hopefully of some very painful and graphic rectal disorder involving velociraptors and gratuitous amounts of salt and lime. While the people who knew his atrocities best celebrate in the streets, the mainstream media defames and destroys his character. While they defend his character and viciously destroy and attack Donald Trump. Sorry, I forgot what period of time I live in for a second. Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, has recently come out of the closet to express his undying love for the mass-murdering dictator. Makes you wonder what they were doing down there in November together. You think Trudeau's into older guys? He expressed, and I quote, "deep sorrow that I learned today of the death of Cuba's longest-serving president." President. I don't think president, an unforgivingly brutal dictator who initiated 3,600 firing squad executions and caused the state suicide rate to triple, are interchangeable terms. Trudeau continued on to say Fidel Castro was a larger-than-life leader who served his people for almost half a century. A legendary revolutionary, Mr. Castro made significant improvements to the education and healthcare of his island nation. Shit. We join the people of Cuba today in the mourning of the loss of this remarkable leader. Remarkable leader! Remarkable leader! On top of this nonsense from the absolutely retarded world of Prime Minister Trudeau, the mainstream media and the President of the United States, Barack Obama, only for a little longer, are having trouble denouncing him. The harshest thing Barack Obama was able to say about him was, and I quote, "We know that this moment fills Cubans, in Cuba and in the United States, with powerful emotions, recalling the countless ways in which Fidel Castro altered the course of individual lives, families, and of the Cuban nation." End quote. Going further down the rabbit hole, Barbara Lee, a congresswoman from California, you probably know where this is going, thought the world of Castro, going so far as to say, we need to stop and pause and mourn his loss. And it was very sad for the Cuban people. If Barbara Lee and Barack Obama want someone to be sad with, they should probably just stick to hanging out with their leftist buddies. No Cuban commoner not currently stuck in a house being bombed with insecticide is mourning this colossal piece of shit's death. So why does the left insist on making Castro's death something to mourn over rather than something to celebrate? They pretty much have to. God, it tastes so good. The left is constantly trying to force their policies on the people of the United States, and the biggest obstacle they face is making these policies appeal to the American people. They can't go about reporting on the failure of a leader who fully implemented the policies they want to see installed in the United States and other Western countries. Cuba, under Fidel Castro's destructive reign, is a perfect example of socialism and communism working out exactly the way they were meant to. If the liberals want success in turning the United States of America and other Western countries into socialist and then communist governments, they're going to have to try their very best to bury the failures of these totalitarian regimes. And their best bet is to exploit the short attention span and trust liberals have for their media machine. They'll put up a few stories about Castro, praise him in 99% of them, and then kill the story as quickly as possible, leaving hopelessly lost millennials and pompous liberals with a fond memory of the late Cuban dictator. The mainstream media's reaction to the death of Castro shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. I personally cannot wait until the death of Kim Jong-un, so they have to sit and praise the life and legacy of dear leader. The media's complete lack of competency and journalistic integrity, with its obvious ties to the state's propaganda, will continue to erode their appeal and trustworthiness. Let them dig their own grave. Until then, I'm gonna keep drinking with the Cuban and Cuban American people, celebrating the departure of this little dickbag. Here's to you guys. Cheers. It's just so satisfying. If you like this video and you like my beard, please subscribe for more. I'm Cameron McPherson, and you've been watching The Fierce Sun. Let's just have one more. Why not? Perfect.